Hello.
Hi, Erin. Thank you so much for being patient with us. I
No,
appreciate
it's no
you.
problem. I
Yes,
appreciate the opportunity.
sure. It's the, Friday before Christmas, and we're just trying to make sure that we're communicating with the electorate. My name is Aisha Richardson. I am a member of State Committee. I'm also a member of the Black Caucus, and Michael Laws is the chair of the Black Caucus, and he's our webmaster today. So we have three questions, and we're going to get through this in that 15-minute time spot. The first is tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're seeking the office that you're seeking. The second is what's your road to victory? And then the third is the idea of the down ballot races coordinating and campaigning together, that's similar to how our judicial candidates campaigned successfully in November. And I'll remind you about the questions, but just wanted to frame the issues, okay?
Sure. I'll give you a little background on me. I come from Western Pennsylvania. I grew up in a great little working class steel town that still has an operating steel mill, and I come from 4 generations of organized labor. I have a master's degree in industrial organizational psychology, which is the behavior of really big systems, and that's where I've spent the bulk of my work. I ran a small business, and I'm really proud of that because it was the first and only licensed addiction and mental health treatment center of its kind in the state. And we raised $2 million for that, and we're featured twice in Industrial Engineer magazine. So that was great. And I spent a year studying under U.S. Treasury Secretary Paul O'Neill after he was fired by the Bush administration for telling the truth. And he was working on a lot of issues responding to medical error and hospital-acquired infections, which contribute a great deal to the costs of Medicare and Medicaid. And I was happy to work with him on that. And he taught me a lot about financial services, pensions, treasury. So he was a big part of why I chose to run. My decision to do this is because in 2020, when we lost the seat, there was really one idea of what a treasurer is. And then Joe Biden came in and he launched so many programs that completely changed the game. And we're seeing treasurers all over the country take on a completely different role. They're taking the idea of the treasurer from inside the mahogany office in the Capitol and moving it into the community. And that appeals to me so much as somebody that comes from a steel town that often gets left behind. So when I'm looking at this office, I see his program on mission-driven banking, which is funding and resources to start minority deposit institutions as well as community development financial institutions throughout the state. Right now, there are only 3 minority deposit institutions in the entire state. 2 are in Philly, 1 is in Montgomery County. These are banks that are designed to service unbanked and underbanked communities. And the idea is to get away from too big to fail banks that only worry about profits and not people, and encourage people in communities that don't have good banking to invest, develop savings. And then that money goes to really investing in that community, buying homes or getting school loans or buying a car. So I love that idea. I love getting back to small banking. I love the idea of taking the treasurer's office out of Harrisburg and putting it in the community. I also love the idea of taking the treasurer's resources on cybersecurity. Right now, we are really suffering at the local level on cybersecurity. The Aliquippa Water Authority was hacked 2 to 3 weeks ago. And that was simply because of a weak password. My hope is that as treasurer, I would have an alert system as well as resources going into local communities to help those municipalities really create a security mechanism to protect their resources, protect their communities in a way that we've never seen before. So it's a vision that I have that's really outside the box, but I think using the extraordinary resources of the Treasury is a way that we can accomplish.
My day job, I work for a state elected official. And so the unclaimed property program is very popular.
Yeah.
Between January and October, our office has been able to secure $200,000 in unclaimed property for our constituents. How do you feel about like the automatic voter registration when you renew your ID, automatic unclaimed property checks for folks so that we can figure out how to move those resources to the people who need them the most? Did you not hear me? Was the question garbled again?
No, you broke up it, but I think I get what you're saying. So
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
absolutely, I believe that we should have automatic enrollment. I also believe that at the moment that anybody goes into our criminal justice system on any aspect, they should automatically be enrolled in that system. We are already getting identifying information, and I'm hoping that being able to release unclaimed property to people that are in the criminal justice system, as well as other vulnerable populations, whether you're applying for Medicaid or Medicare, I want auto enrollment across the board.
Thank you. Thank you. So our next question has to do with your path to victory. What is your path to victory?
Work, 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 work. I plan on being in every room that you can possibly be in. There's no room too small. There's no issue that I'm afraid of. When I ran for Congress, I won that primary against Jack Murtha's chief of staff because I was in every room, including rooms that I was not exactly popular. So I really believe in working. I believe in doing a really aggressive earned media program, doing press on all of the ideas that I have. I don't believe in doing an anger, hate-driven campaign that mobilizes rage. I want to mobilize people on a new vision of this. I know it's a very underinformed race. This is probably going to be the lowest information race. And I do believe that history has shown that a woman from Allegheny County always does well. If you look at Josh Shapiro's race in 2020, there was a woman from Allegheny County that ran against him, and she never left her house and never raised a dime, and she came within a couple points of beating him. So we have a great turnout operation in my county. We do really well with the collar counties. I'm not going to rely on that. I'm happy to have that. But I plan on campaigning very aggressively in these communities and letting everybody know that there is no community that I will leave behind. I will be in the room. And I don't believe that you can say you're a fighter for anything if you're not in the room. I will be in the room.
I can see that because you're in the room with us. So yeah, I definitely see that. Erin, our question has to do with the success of the judicial candidates who ran in the last general election, and they coordinated, they ran together. And so our question has to do with how do you feel about running with the other down ballot candidates to make sure that the up ballot ticket is elevated and also that we can win those races on the down ballot as well.
Yeah, I ran in 2016, so I was on a national ticket. So I was doing press nationally with MSNBC and a number of other news outlets. And so I know what that looks like. And sometimes you have to step away from your own race and really grab onto the ticket. And what I can tell you is one of the biggest issues we're going to see in this race as far as President Biden is China and inflation. And they are going to be blasting him on that. And I am delighted to go up against Stacey Garrity on her claim that Joe Biden is solely responsible for inflation, instead of actually acknowledging that part of inflation is about supply and demand and corporate price gouging. So if she wants to go after Joe Biden on that, and she wants to go after Senator Casey, then I am happy to be the human shield to defend them and go at our treasurer on the fact that she doesn't truly understand the dynamics of inflation. and she has been a hack for Wall Street. She's been a hack for corporations. And I'm more than happy to defend my ticket, defend my president, defend my senator, as well as the rest of the ticket, as far as fighting for working class people, against corporate greed, against being left behind, and fighting to move this country forward on the platform that Joe Biden has created.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that we have this issue with lack of enthusiasm, and so I think that we need to focus in not on the personality but on the values.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. And I am, as somebody who comes from a working class background, I think that Joe Biden's policies on trade and economics are some of the best that I've seen. And I'm very frustrated with our state treasurer and her lack of knowledge and her ignorance on this issue and her need to politicize the economics of this in a way that chastises our president without acknowledging what he's done well. And I'm really looking forward to going at her on that.
Well, Erin, I thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. This is going to be edited and it's going to be on the Black Caucus website. So I just want to sit with us and, have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity. Merry Christmas.
Take care.